Hey Pedro, Ashes. Pedro, you're very talented. Well done, sir. Arriving here before anyone else, almost as if you were informed. What's going on here? Wow, the camera's drifted back pretty bad there. Okay, just warning, crotch shot may... Wow, looks like I've got a limp issue here. Oh, shite. Okay, see if that holds steady. Oh well, we'll find out if it doesn't. Okay. Anyway, usual thing. More ring lights. Keeple? What the hell? Must be Monday. Welcome to Monday for Australians. As I say, people buy the goods, you have to make the goods, or you have to make the goods for people to buy the goods. It's not like the software world, where I can just do it once and then we're done. But to be fair, at least in the software world, you have to keep updating things. Fixing bugs never ends. Okay. Alright, we need 4 of those. Let's squeeze out some paste. Some highly professional paste. Wow, it's getting stuck in there. Definitely these tubes last a hell of a lot longer than the flippin' tubs. I ended up throwing away the tubs of, what was it? Quick Fix or whatever. What was it? Chip Quick? Yeah. They ended up being useless. That was a big fat waste of money that was. I really need to 3D print myself a better sort of support for the stencil. It's one of those things that, yeah, I'll get around to it, and you never do. That was actually pretty damn good. I was like, now, somebody is disorganized. Holiday in Canberra. Oh, that explains why. What holiday is it? Other than Politicians' Day, which is basically every day is a holiday because it's Canberra, the state where nothing really gets done. I always found it amusing back in the 70s, 80s, or whatever, that Canberra, the state with all the politicians and everything like that, had very liberal policies towards things that all the other states basically were like, no, 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 we can't have that. That's bad family policies. Yeah, but Canberra's like, yeah, bring it on. We'll be the only state other than the crazy Northern Territorians to let you do these things. Looks like I'm running a little short on paste there. Hey there, Q's. Oh, keep meaning to forget to catch up with you and get your ring light sent out too. and everything else. Yeah, Pedro, things like that, yes. And I was like, why are the people who run the country allowed to have that stuff, but we aren't? Well, it all makes lots of sense these days. To be fair, I was stuck in Queensland around that era, so that means that I was subjected to Joe Bjelke-Petersen's very conservative values. Not that it mattered to me at that age, but in retrospect, I'm like, wow. The guy really had a nut for a brain. I guess that's why he was a peanut farmer. Peanuts and scones. Support local business. Hello there, Matei. So just trying to be good here and wash my stencils before I put them back. I'm trying to be the good citizen of my own workshop. Oh yeah, the iPhone beat me. Well, like I said, I'm seriously considering redesigning that so that it can handle the situation that I encounter frequently with that device. Namely, so that it will keep powering the device even when there is a short, even if it's a, you basically put it into current limiting mode. So I'll set it to permit up to 1 amp of current to go through or something like that. I don't know, I haven't decided yet, but I feel like if I can do that, then I can justify the sale price being a bit higher. Okay. Yeah, I think it was zoom in. Right. Turn on the suckage. Hello there, PR. Welcome. What's this? 50-cent bus to Townsville? What? As if there would be a 50-cent bus to Townsville. Pfft, yeah. It's more like $50 if you're lucky. Yeah, unfortunately, my displays and display connectors didn't arrive this morning for the USB-C meters, which is a bit annoying. I just kind of want to have all my parts ready to go. Like I've got several boards ready for the displays to be fitted, but yeah, can't do much without the displays. Ah! I think I've got some lead paste in that nozzle now. Right. Definitely having this board with a bit of tape on it is much better than what we were dealing with before. Vastly superior. Hey, Hexaboard, welcome back. These are the new navigator switches. The casting is of good quality. There's a smidge of grease inside, so I'm pretty happy about that. I've got one more lot to show up in terms of to try out, but I'm pretty happy with these, except I can't install them very well. I'm a complete doofus. There we go. They do have the big difference with these ones is they've got a fairly broad selector head on them, which I suppose some people will like compared to the narrower one. It's one of those things where it's probably not really going to make significant difference either way, but yeah, people might prefer one or the other. The downside is you're not going to get to choose. Okay, let's bounce some controllers. That one goes there. Oh, that's so badly off. I don't know why I put that down just now. It's a little bit early for it. I'm going through the process at the moment of trying to shave down the bill of material costs as much as I can, and then hopefully I can push back some savings for everybody. Yeah, even if it's like $10 or something like that, just to optimize things. Hey there, MC Rams and Miles. Okay. Because yeah, lower bill of materials and working out my supply options, it definitely goes a long way towards keeping things competitive. Well, Q's, I can send you a pair of these ones if you like. If you want to try the big selector instead of the narrow selector, I'm more than happy to help you out there. Because yours haven't been dispatched yet, so now I can change them over to the large selectors. No! Yeah, you want those? Alright, we'll do. Then at least you can compare. I'm definitely happy that I redesigned this board so that the LEDs were orientated the way they are now compared to how it was before. Before they were like nose to tail around, which wasn't too bad, except that as you tried to place them, it did become a little bit cumbersome. And again, like I said, this is sort of like the whole optimization thing. You just start out with your first attempts, what you think might work, and then you go, you know what, I could do better if I did this, or I could do better, and so on and so forth. And after about 7 or 8 iterations, you might just get there. I'm glad the USB-C meter is working out for you. Your main selection criteria on that was that it would work with the Nintendo Switch, wasn't it? You were having difficulties with other USB-C meters not working when plugged into that? Ah! Just had a pick and place crash then. Don't forget to order up. Yeah, I'll try to order up. It used to say you can't chat because you're not subscribed. Well, that's weird, Hexaboard. Yeah, I really don't know what went wrong there. I mean, YouTube is painful at the best of times. Okay, I think one of the weak points of these big head selectors is that the mass makes it hard to... It wants to tilt over. It's okay. Micro seems to be doing alright today, is eating happily and everything, so I don't know what the hell's going on with him. He just had a crap. I have a feeling, if I had to guess, that he found a big stash of biscuits and he scoffed him. Yeah, he just stuffed himself silly with biscuits, which would have sent his insulin absolutely crazy high. Oh, sorry, not his insulin, his blood sugar. And so he was probably feeling less than great with excessive blood sugar. And because I still kept the standard injection, it would have taken a while to bring it back down and make him feel better again. But at least today we did get supply of a new brand of crunchy, healthy crunchy treats. They're kind of like biscuits, but they're low carb, high protein, that sort of stuff. Stupidly expensive, but still very good. And of course it means then Micro can enjoy the sensation of eating biscuits without putting himself at risk. Comes from a company called Ziwi Peak, and I think it's 2 kg of the biscuits is a bit over $100 or something like that. So it's definitely not cheap, but it's cheaper than medical related issues. Right, okay, so there was another one that did work, right. Bluetooth on the other hand, I really wished that Bluetooth had worked out better, like as a communication standard, but it just didn't. Even to this day, it's always issues with it. Even on my MacBook or anything like that, or brand name gear that's supposed to just work, it's still an unpleasant process, and there's times where it doesn't want to connect, they don't want to see each other, all sorts of bollocks. And I mean, we've had Bluetooth for a quarter of a century plus now, and still haven't, just still is issues. Ach, niemand almost ruined my, why, but for some reason this particular strip of resistors, 0 ohm resistors, they don't want to pop out. I don't know whether it's because of static adhesion, but they just don't want to come out. Normally with the paper strips I can pull both ends simultaneously and everything just drops out nicely. These ones are like, nah, we want to stay in the strip. We don't want to be put to use. There we go. Yeah, good luck with a card. I've tried a number of things, but I mostly find it's the software stack on the OS side. Just seems to be a never-ending disaster. I have an issue here where I just realised I do not have any paste on that pad there, so I'm going to have to... Get out of here, fly! Jeez. Steal paste from somewhere. Oh. It's sad when cheap gear connects better. Yeah, like I have some Microsoft, what are they? Some nice Microsoft Bluetooth headset. Yeah, they're not cheap, they're not expensive, but they do the job, they do well. And when I first got them, they were fantastic. Connected straight away on my MacBook and straight away on my PC, no dramas. And then just over time, it starts misbehaving more and more. And now I have to spend 5-10 minutes screwing around with settings just to get it to be detected again. So what is going on? So much so that for my main workstation, I've actually bought my large Sennheiser FM RF headphones out. They're clunkier and they have a bad habit when you don't have an audio source for more than 2 minutes or so. They just switch over to static. So you forget that you're still wearing the headphones and they're still on when whatever you're listening to has stopped. And then 2 minutes later you get this horrendously rude awakening when it just goes and you're like, crap. But aside from that, they're great. But that is a really annoying issue they have. I don't know why they do that. Meanwhile, the Microsoft Bluetooth headphones, they're really nice for the fact that when you power them on, they tell you that welcome to the headphones. There is 15 hours of battery life left. And then when you connect to a machine, it's like, connected to a computer. When you switch them off, it's like, goodbye. It's like, oh, that's nice, very polite. The selector switches are fine once they actually get into their keyhole. You kind of got to get them in there first. I think that's in. Anyway, the Sennheisers do a really good job, and yeah, they do have a good charging base. That can be the other downside, is over time that you need to remember to clean the bar on the charger so that it actually charges when you put them back. But aside from that, they're good, and they've got replaceable batteries in them. Like, I think they're not sure if they're nickel cadmium or metal hydride. I'm pretty sure they're metal hydride these days. Can't imagine they'd be shipping them with nickel cadmium, especially considering that you can get a metal hydride charge controller now just as cheap as any other. It's not like the old days where you were saving a few dollars by just going with nickel cadmium, and then you could just sort of trickle charge them indefinitely, which of course the metal hydrides did not like. I was thinking of getting an LG soundbar as well for our TV, but I've decided against it. I've decided in the end I'll just put on my headphones. At least I think the TV let me concurrently have headphones and output to the internal speakers, so that was useful. Because it's a pain when you connect up headphones for one person, all of a sudden you've got no audio output of the TV. It's like, I get it, I understand why they might do that, but it'd be nice to have the option of still let the TV make the noise. The headphones are just for someone who's hard of hearing. Especially too that now everything is, it's all digitally selected and whatever, so it's not like it's a mechanical 3.5mm or 6mm plug switching the input sources or output directions. It's all just software. Yeah, I got a new mat. The only trouble is it's cursed with the bobble up problem that so many are. So long as I don't apply heat directly to it, it's okay. But yeah, if you, like, I was doing what was I doing? I was fixing up a lid switch for a MacBook, and as I was reworking it, it just starts moving, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Turns out it was this mat started swelling up from the heat. So if I'm going to do things like that, I kind of need to put down another board or something, just to keep the heat away from it. Meanwhile, the fiber embedded mats that I had before did not have that problem. What I did like or do like about these Microsoft headphones, the Bluetooth ones, is that they will permit, I think it's 2 concurrent sources. So if you've got a couple of computers, you can just jump between them, and the headphones are fine, or at least they should be fine. Whereas with other ones, you have to unpair from the one source to pair to the next, and that's a massive pain in the backside. struggling to get the feel for how to install these. Yeah, see, it just plonks off like that. So it's okay once the paste gets it. Once you've got it touching the paste holds it. It's not too massive, the weight, but it does make for awkward installation. Not that it's a huge issue in this case, thankfully. Okay. Put the parts away. And bring out the heater. Still need to order myself the big one. But yeah, that's another $150, $200 to spend. They're cheap enough when you look at them on AliExpress, but then by the time you add shipping and taxes, that $60 heater all of a sudden becomes a $200 heater. Okay, extractor. Right, now we start the fun process. I'm not sure which model I'm after. I forget. This is the 946-1010. I want the 946-2020. So basically, the 2020 will be twice the perimeter overall. But yeah, the 1010 I think is cheap enough. Where's my pizza board? It's a pizza board. Got it. Got to use this to slide the cooked ones on. Okay, you got two of them. Okay. I should have a look. Let's see, AliExpress. After 946-2020. Actually, I just gotta. Sort of watch this reflow. That's definitely ready to go. Well, it's nice to see that the navigator switch didn't fall off. I just noticed none of this up here is reflowed yet. There they go. There's a bit of a uneven distribution in here. So just popping out the chat so I can then jump to something else. Okay. We're going to slide this one off and give the hot plate a chance to cool down. I know it sounds silly, but I'm trying to give it a chance to cool down so that I can then, so the subsequent boards don't cook too quickly. Alright, so let's see. Let's change to... No matter how many times I hit save, it comes up and brings me back to Australian dollars every damn time. This looks like maybe the size I want. I love when they don't actually tell you. What? This isn't even English. Oh, there we go. Oh, I love that. So they show you the old unit compared to the new unit. Anyway, yeah, $28, but here's the killer, the shipping, $65 US. And that's pretty painful. Okay, so 147. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So it's free shipping. By the time it gets to you, it's going to be like 200 or so. Well, this one's a bit cheaper. But then how cheap do you want to go? Do you want to get an electric shock or don't you? I do wish though that I could get a lower profile unit. It's bringing up all the old stuff. Yeah, I don't know if they have a lower profile in this size, where it's a separate unit. You have a controller board and then you have the heater plate. Could always go with something like that, or that. But yeah, separates would be nice. In DC, Discord. You get some crazy ones like this. That's scary stuff, those ones. One false move and you're going to be ash. Let me see, I'll just... Just going to Discord at the moment. Anyway, better put another unit on to cook. Should be cool enough now. You can take it apart and move the controller. The only trouble I was thinking is that maybe the cables might not be long enough. Because I had contemplated that, but yeah, the cable was the issue. I mean, I suppose I could just extend the cables. Oof, the controller is not. Somebody's effed up the controller. I need to have a handheld something so I can look at it, but I'll just have to wait. I think it's okay. I don't think I can zoom in enough. It's hard to say. There's no bridging on it. Alright. Let's go back to the web search. I don't know why I keep ending up on this one. Okay, I've got the same one here. Okay, so that's 70. It's slightly cheaper on the shipping combined. Ooh. I have a feeling if I took that option, that they're going to message me and say, we can't deliver that to you because you're in a rural area. But that actually would be pretty good. 22 for the FedEx IE on top of that. We'll add to cart and check it out later. No, in this particular case, infrared will probably not be as useful. It would be more useful for, say, the USB-C meters with their FC4. But for these aluminium plate ones, the direct heat is actually the better option, it seems. FedEx is actually better than the other options for me where I am. DHL is the worst for me in terms of dedicated courier services. But yeah, FedEx IE works very well for me here. What the hell, $410? Yeah, I think that's going to be a fat pass. That's the thing with a lot of shipping services. You got to work out what actually works for your area. The reason why DHL doesn't work for me is because for some reason they send their stuff via Cairns, which is 450 kilometres north of us, whereas everyone else comes in via Brisbane. And it seems weird, but if it comes through Brisbane or Sydney, then it gets sent straight to Townsville using another air service. Whereas when it gets to Cairns, they sort of think, oh, it's only 450 k's from Townsville, so we will then truck it down. Even if it's a full express service, they'll truck it down, and it takes an extra 3 days. So even though it lands in Australia closer, it takes longer because of the fact that they're shipping it through an inferior service. Oh right, Mateo's just doing it for... Right, let's see, schematics. Yeah, that's the concept I was looking for. It's just interesting that they don't actually provide many options like that. Yeah, it's always these stacked ones. Or mostly the stacked ones. Because when this is a solid, it's got to be, I don't know. Look, it's 126 inch, not 6 inches, 5 inches or so high. And if you're trying to do work on it, lifting it, you can't rest your elbow too easily. So it's a bit of an inconvenience. But having it lower on the ground, that would be good. It's getting cool enough, I think. Put the next one on just shortly. And then we'll have to go through. Oh, geez, I can see I knocked one. You can't see it, but I can. I've knocked the controller over by a whole row. So that's actually going to have to be reworked, like, now. Actually, come to think of it, put this one on, and then I'll use the residual heat after this one. Wait, what the hell just happened then? Okay, we're good. Yeah, I'll use the residual heat from this to rework the other one. JVC, oh, it's only, what, gee, yeah, JVC is going to come for price premium that exceeds my tolerance. By a major factor. I'm not prejudiced against JVC gear, I'm just prejudiced against the price because I can't afford it. I mean, I'm not one to skimp on gear just for the price reasons. Like, I do like to buy decent gear, but sort of Hacko tends to fall into that good optimization between what you pay and what you get. Below that, you tend to get poor quality for dollar. But then when you're getting up to the JVC level, it's like, okay, now we're paying the premium for an extra couple of % of quality, so to speak. And again, no problem with that if you've got that money to spend, and if you need that extra premium percentage. I can't justify it myself. So for me, Hacko is pretty good, at least for the soldering. Obviously for the hot air stations, Hacko was a load of crap. And thank God we had the Quick and the Atom come out when they did. I mean, the Quick basically revolutionized the market for that sort of thing, that tool. I think it was Tim Herman that originally found the Quick, in terms of for most of us in the Rossmann type spawn group. So yeah, this has got to jump a whole row over. Okay. $951 is $900? Seriously? That's ridiculous. Yeah, the 951 shouldn't be selling for more than 200 US for what's in it. At 900, that's ridiculous. Like I bought mine for about 450 Australian each, which would have been about 300 US Australian at the time. There's no way I would pay that. If you're going to pay that kind of money, then yeah, you may as well go for something like JBC. That's Hacko getting a little bit cocky, or maybe it's their... it could well be their distributors thinking that they can capitalize on the popularity of it. Because, you know, it's sort of become a de facto standard to use. But that's just going to bite them in the ass. All they're doing there is sending people off to buy other arbitrary ones from AliExpress, like Ayuan or whatever it is, brand name ones. Hacko does seem to have a really bad habit of shooting themselves in the foot. So thank God the 951 was pretty much set, done. They probably made 1 million of them before all this crap started. And I'm glad I've got a spare Quick hot air station as well. I've just got to wait for these to cool down, really. It's a good way to test if they're cool, Paul. Just grab them, see if it burns your finger. That's great. That's real smart. Light. You're gonna give me, thank you. It's a bit slow today. Alright. Lift up a little bit. So that's pretty good there. Okay. I might just sort of even those out a little bit. They are soldered on the underside, but you know, might want to put a bit of a nicer fillet on it. The DC jack's in nice. Okay. Okay, we've got a bridge there. That's fine. It's quite hard for me to get these done right with manual stenciling and placing. Because if I basically would have to... I can't really narrow the aperture of the pads and the stencil for this much more. The real problem is my application of the paste. I need to keep the stencil very tightly down onto the board as I go over it, and I just can't do it as a human at this point without having a proper frame set up. So we end up having to do this sort of clean up afterwards. Well, I'm happy with how the navigator switch has flowed in there, so that's good. Okay, this one, it's a little bit over, but it's not critically over, thankfully. Okay. It's the same with this, a little bit over, but not critically over. This is the one that we had to shift by one row. Well, okay, we had a... What happened there? It looks like the actual metal was up a little bit high. Yeah, it's just the leg. It is soldered under there, but I'm going to give it a little more. I think I might need some hot air assist. Oh, someone needs a nozzle. Need a little bit of flux. Mostly because I just want it to look a little nicer. Obviously electrically it's fine. Aesthetically, not so much. I am not winning on that one. Give that a clean up. Yeah, the post-reflow inspection and fix-ups tends to be the slower part of the process. But it's also an essential part of the process. I mean, like I said, this is sort of the price you pay when you're not dealing with actual factory pick and place and reflow. Right, that's the bridge we've got to fix. I could probably improve on the placement of the controller, but the real problem is more the stencil application of the paste. Because if it's off, then yeah, but if it doesn't line up with the pads, then it's obviously going to just smush and merge no matter what. Yeah, and this one I just want to clean up those fillets. I could have avoided all this if I just simply went with a larger package for the controller, but there wasn't really any supply of a larger package. Yeah, maybe something I can revisit in the future, but for now, we're locked in with this one. As you can see, it's fairly quick nonetheless to clean them up. And I mean, you're going to be doing post reflow inspections anyway. Oops. Programming time now. I was hoping my new program would arrive today, but it apparently hasn't. It was in Townsville on Sunday, so I really did expect it to turn up today. 3A. No, of course Lewis hasn't purchased anything. He should. It's not like it's going to be... I think the problem is it's not like it's going to be Flex Board View, where he gets a site license just through the fact that he was a great promoter of it. Still, I can't imagine he's got more than 3 or 4 workbenches. And he's probably just trying to get out of a lot of this stuff now. He's done his time, he doesn't want to be involved too much more with... He enjoys it, but I think he's also done with it concurrently. Alright, let's see if we get any smoke. Hopefully not. Okay, that's good. Okay. Okay, that's good. I don't know why I bother doing the memory test on it. It's where I drop it down to a lower brightness, give it a couple of seconds, turn it off, and when I bring it back, it should retain the same brightness level. So likewise again, like that. Alright, they're all working. Thank goodness for that. Now we've got to assemble them. Q's, do you want black or do you want blue? Oops. Because obviously I've got both. So what's it going to be? Black or blue? For you. Please wants blue. Well, Mate, there is another great big point, that resistor, that there is a 24 volt in point. So if you did lose those, you can always use the input resistor there. I haven't run into any adhesion issues yet with these. Hopefully I don't. And I've got 100 or so to go, so I don't think I'll be switching that over in a hurry. They'll get autographed, yes. Okay, got our 1.7s. Yep. Let's see, where's my screwdriver for this job? Actually, it might be easier to do that now. The fact that these screws are very low on their magnetic attraction is a little bit annoying. Okay, that was done for that one. Next one. Zoom in a little. Fortunately, at least I can drop the screw down first. And then once the first one is in, I can line up the other two. And the balance of the board means, I don't struggle. Oops. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a very big screw, 1.7, but it's more than enough to hold everything, especially that there's 3 of them. And they do sit very snug in the PET-G. Okay. Put them out of the way. Let's do these ones. The only trouble with the black ring is that I can't visually see where the hole is. Not with my eyesight anyway. So I kind of have to just sort of push down a little harder and twirl around and hope for the magic to happen. There we go. Well, the memory feature should be on your existing ones too. So if you just set it to whatever you want, let it sit there for a few seconds, 2 or 3 seconds, it will remember it, and yeah, the next time you power it up, it should have that same setting. This is one of those small things. This is why it took me so long to get around to putting these into production, is because there were a lot of, I was using them every day myself, of course. And so there would be a lot of little things that I go, yeah, I wish I had that, or I wish I had that, or this is annoying me, all those sort of things. So finally, after all this time, yeah, this is sort of the accumulation of adjustments that I personally have put in because of the fact that it annoyed me or I wanted it. And I sort of go, well, if I want it, then chances are someone else is going to too. Hey, Fredo Mix. Yeah, got to get the 3D printers, got to keep them running. Mine didn't like being asleep for too long. Okay. Alright, we're going to have 4. Now we've got to put the heat sinks on. A very wasteful heatsink situation. I am looking to just be able to buy the heatsink itself and also the blue adhesive. I've found the blue adhesive. I'm just trying to decide what to do about the heatsinks. I need to do some more temperature testing to see whether the more serrated, I shouldn't say serrated, but the more chopped up 6mm version is as good as the 10mm. If it is, then I can get those. If it's not, then I'm going to have to keep looking for the 10mm. I got lucky with these ones, you know, finding the lot of 110mm is, yeah, because I just can't see them anymore. Except the supplier of these just isn't around, they've vanished. Yeah, I agree, Miles. Trying to attain perfection does slow things down. I mean, yeah, it's been like a year and definitely over a year it's taken me to get to this point of making them. Same with the USB-C meters. Because I don't want to invest hundreds of dollars in, first attempt stock, only to find, I wish I had done it this way or that way. And a lot of things you don't really notice until you've used them for a reasonable period of time, or you find out things that break, such as I found that, although this probably could have been told by anybody, found the PLA did not tolerate having the brass inserts put through it, and after 6 months it snapped the ring. And while it wasn't a massive issue, because most people can just have the 3D print file for this, it's still an inconvenience. Yeah, these heat sinks will not move very easily at all. I mean, if you apply, pull them off, yep, they'll work. But trying to actually have them shake off or just fall off in general, it's not going to happen. And if you really want, you can, as I said, you can take it off and put something different on there, or take it off entirely. And of course people can produce their own 3D printed versions to suit their multimeter, gee whiz, microscope. Like I know Graham from Adam and IT, he had one of those, he has one of those digital microscopes, and they have a very narrow lens body on them, so he had to print something himself. And that's fine, because yeah, once I upload the file for this particular version, you can just modify that to shrink or enlarge the ring size as you require. Okay, that's it. All done. Honestly, I've never found the need to have anything more adhesive than this. Like, yeah, that is not coming off at all. Add to the fact that it's mounted this way under the microscope, so gravity itself is also pushing down. Let's put this in the rubbish. Felt like I was demonstrating something like that flex tape or whatever it is, the stupid infomercial advert where the got that amazingly sticky tape that they just slap onto everything. Kind of felt like I was going over the top like that. Alright, well that's that. That's them done. They do have a fairly high thermal resistance, yes. These are 0.3 mil. I can get 0.1, and I'll probably do that on the next batch, but obviously this is what came with it. There isn't too bad a differential between the front and the heatsink. Yeah, it's tolerable. Also, most of the time people are going to be running at around about 80% brightness on this, and at that brightness you can leave your finger on the aluminium without any trouble. So I will be looking at the 0.1 when so yeah, I might try that with the 6mm heat sinks, and might have the same end effect in the end. Alright, okay, that's it. I am done for the live stream for today, and thanks all for watching. Good to see new people in here. That was always nice to see that other people caught up with the fact that I'd split the channels into two, and hopefully this whole new setup will work in my favor over time. So alright, thanks all for watching. See you all next time. Till then, you'll take care. I'll catch you later.